Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and double honors due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach wa Malak Yahushai. Secondly, Brother Yardan, WFI Detroit coming back at you with yet another cold cut. Today in this video, the main topic will be opening up wisdom, unlocking wisdom through Proverbs. Now, naturally, if you open up any book in the Bible, you're going to find wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that's true. However, in this specific video, I chiefly want to open up the door to Proverbs and see what we can find. And before I actually get into the precepts that I have written down, I want to read the introduction to Proverbs in my Bible. Each book, it carries an introduction to let you know what the book is going into. And so as for Proverbs, it reads this: the key word in Proverbs is wisdom, the ability to live skillfully. A godly life in an ungodly world, however, is no simple assignment. Proverbs provides God's detailed instructions for his people to deal successfully with practical affairs of everyday life. How to relate to God, parents, children, neighbors, and governments. Solomon, the principal author, uses a combination of poetry, parables, pithy questions, short stories, and wise maxims to give in strikingly memorable form the common sense and divine perspective necessary to handle life's issues. And that's true, because knowing all the breakdowns is going to help you pay rent. Let's be honest, having the mightiest beard and being 6'7" and your fringes are going down to your toes, that's not going to help you land a job. You can know all the deep things of the scriptures and still not understand how to deal with your neighbor. You won't fully realize what it means to, get work done if you can't understand the basic proverbs. Because again, it's going to teach you practicality. And that's a skill that's definitely needed in his life. So with that being said, the first precept I'll bring out is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. And it reads, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Now I want to bring out the GNT version as well. And it reads this in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. "Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts." And that's true as well. Even in the book of Sirach, which we'll get later in the video, it tells you that you have to remove sorrow far from thee. Because if you don't, thinking and carrying all that negativity, spirits and demons, they feed off of it. This isn't a movie. This isn't, make-believe. This is real life where spirits actually feed off of dark energy, so to speak, right? They feed off that negativity. That's why a lot of people, like a lot of those emos that cut themselves, they're dark and they have nothing positive to say. And so their spirit and countenance is changed. And you can see it. You can see the spirit on them. And they cut themselves for a reason. They say, "Woe is me. How miserable is my life?" And they wear all black and dark to really express how they feel inside and show it on the outside. So you have to be careful on how you think. Your positivity is going to manipulate your reality to an extent, right? So by that I mean this: if you have faith in the Lord, then what? Your thoughts are going to be filled with precepts about faith and hope and wisdom. And what works next? Actions. Once you think something, your actions follow. So if you feel as though you have your faith and your hope, you're really rooted, it's like you're firmly rooted in the Lord, you're going to get what you got to get done. You're going to pray more, you're going to read more, you're going to study more. You're going to realize that you're in this thing for a purpose. So it all begins with your thoughts as well. Pull that out, the book of Sirach. So you have to remove sorrow far from thee. And sorrow is all around in this wicked world. There's sorrow in the music. There's sorrow in drinks. There's sorrow watching movies and TV shows. You have to recognize what's evil for your life and expel it from you. Sirach 37 and 27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything. So maybe that one musician that you're listening to, maybe he's not profitable for you, Ak. If it's making you feel sorrowful, you're thinking about the past, stop listening to him. We get another precept in Sirach chapter 30. It reads in Sirach chapter 30, verse 23, love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. And now one can actually die from being too sad. I believe it's called cardiomyopathy. Let's see. They call it broken heart syndrome. Slovakia. They say it's a medical condition known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy or broken heart syndrome. This condition can occur after a sudden severe stressor like major emotional event and can cause the heart muscle to temporarily weaken. While the broken heart syndrome can be serious and lead to complications, it's incredibly rare for it to cause death. But I've heard cases where it caused death. But this is what negative thoughts and how you view things can affect your body. You get blood clots, heart failure, low pressure. It's like your low blood pressure, irregular heartbeats. All these things is literally attacking your flesh. What's attacking the evil spirits? Why would the Most High, the Heavenly Father who gave you life, plague you on purpose, just for fun, just to torment you? The Lord is not a man that enjoys death. If you have ears to hear, the Lord didn't put us on earth just so he can torment us. No, Satan's job is to torment. Satan's job is to throw you off your game. He's the one trying to take your crown. So that was Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Next precept, Proverbs 15 and 1. This is a classic. If you don't remember anything in this video, remember this. Remember this one. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And so you have the ability to put out a fire, and by fire I mean a heated, intense situation. Because in this life, you're going to come across somebody who is going to have opposing ideas, and that person may not be the best in how to communicate themselves, and their tongue is just a wild dog. And a wild dog is known to bite, and that's exactly what a tongue and mouth does. It bites, and you feel that hurt. Now, we're not responsible for making somebody say anything, because at the end of the day, the Lord gave us the ability over our flesh to tame it. So we have the ability to tame our flesh, but in a certain situation, a unique situation, if somebody's yelling at you, right? You're not responsible for what they say, but you're responsible for what you say and how you respond. And so if they speak wild, you have the opportunity to give a soft answer, because it turneth away wrath. And that's using wisdom and practicality. You have to keep that in your back pocket, forefront of your mind, right? You have to remember that in certain cases, because this world is evil. As it read earlier, how to live godly in an ungodly world. And even the Most High, he is slow to anger. Most High just doesn't wake up, not to say he sleeps, but he doesn't wake up and just see somebody go off and just judge him immediately. Now, he can do whatever he wants. He can do that. but we understand him through the precepts of being a God that's slow to anger. Because you don't want to abuse his mercy as well. Let me get that in the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 19. I might hold off. Might get this a little bit later. I'm going to jump down to verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So you have to be temperate in the Spirit. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit. That's one of the many fruits that the Lord is requiring of you. And remember what happened to the fig tree. Because that fig tree bare no fruit, the Lord cursed it. So if you're not bearing any fruit, the Lord's going to curse you and cut you down. Even John the Baptist said that. He said later Acts, let me bring it out. Look at Matthew. So it's not a foreign concept to understand that a fruit has to bear, it's like that a tree has to bear fruit. Our forefathers could clearly understand that as well. John chapter 3, verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So if you're not producing, yielding any fruit, you're going to be cast into a fire. Go touch the oven and let me know. Come back and type how hot it was. Try to express to me in so many words how hot the oven is. And the Lord's literally going to do that. And he can literally do that, right? Through thermonuclear destruction. I want to get one more account for the sake of time. The 2 Samuel. Chapter 12, verse 7. Start of verse 1, because it's a beautiful account. This is a dialogue between Nathan and David. And the Lord sent Nathan unto David. And David didn't notice, but the Lord sent Nathan unto him. And now the Lord can send anybody to you to bring forth a message, a word. And that person may not even know that the Lord's bringing him or utilizing him. But that's just on a spiritual level, right? That's why you have to be, I believe the word is cognizant. You have to be very aware and very fearful in the Lord in all things. Because you never know who you're talking to. Again, this is the Lord using Nathan. Nathan is the mouthpiece. And so if you were to speak back, you're really speaking back against the Lord. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, There were 2 men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had brought up and nourished up, and it grew up together with him. And with his children it did eat of his own meat, and drink of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was to come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man, and said to Nathan, As the Lord liveth, the man that hath done this shall surely die, and he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, Thou art that man. Now this is going to the account of David committing adultery and Nathan approaching him. Now Nathan could have said straight up, Hey, you wicked, here's this stone, and I see your forehead, it's about to go down. You know, when somebody's in a wrong, you can use a lot of methods to correct them, right? Sometimes there's a rebuke that's not comely, but then there's sometimes a soft answer turneth away wrath. And this is Nathan approaching David with a soft answer, right? With a soft, delicate way of dealing with this situation. I mean, because Nathan already knew David's spirit. David was already hot after hearing this. He said straight up, this man must die. So, when you're dealing with certain people in this world, you have to know who you're dealing with. You have to know what to say, how to say it. Forcible words aren't always right. I could take a hammer to the nail. That don't mean I'm hitting it right. I mean, even a situation and a circumstance, varies on how hard I should deliver that blow into the hammer. And so it is with life. You have to ask yourself, well, how hard was I trying to nail the answer into? How hard was I trying to deliver the message? Was it needful for me to deliver it that hard? Or that did it require just a few taps? Just for another example to paint the picture, imagery. If I'm painting, it's like if I'm trying to hang a picture on a wall, I don't have to bang with all my might, with all my force like a lion. It requires a little bit of taps just to get it through the wall. Other times, you're doing woodwork, you're going to have to turn into Thor and smite that hammer down. So with that, I want to get another one, Proverbs 18 and 13. And it reads, he that answereth the matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. And a lot of these precepts that's being brought out, you don't only apply it, in one situation or one setting. You apply it everywhere you go in your life. Whether you're in a restaurant, the bank, you're at school, you're at work, you're in your house. I mean, these precepts, they don't only work in one environment. I mean, they're to be utilized as you walk in this life, as you walk throughout the course of this world. They have to be utilized. Our forefathers utilized them. Read about your forefathers and don't read just to read. Actually see how they respond to people. See how they deal with people. This is the book of Tobit. This is one of my all-time favorite accounts in the entire scriptures. Because it's so... it's very real. It's very, very real. So... where shall I start? This is... Tobit chapter 2, verse 11. And now, backstory, Tobit is blind, and so Anna, his wife, is doing her own work, her labor. Verse 11, and it reads, and my wife Anna did take woman's work to do, and when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages and gave her also besides a kid. For those who don't know, a kid is a baby goat. And if you have a baby goat in the ancient world, that's good money. You're rich, damn near. Right? That definitely brings you from here to here. Why? Because because a goat can provide a lot of resources. This is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 26. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens. And I had goat milk. It's delicious. So from goats you get milk. You can get bread. It's like not bread. You can get meat. If you want to go that far, you can wear a goat. So she was received a goat. That was her compensation, as well as her wages. reading on in verse 13. And when it was in my home, it's like when it was in my house, and began to cry, I said unto her, from whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to the owners, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. So, Tobit is one of the elect, mind you. And Tobit, he didn't even examine the matter. He just straight up just started shaking a hand, and he said, you stole it. Where did this kid come from? What are you doing? Don't you know it's a sin to do so? Now, pursuing in Sirach 11:7, it reads this. Sirach chapter 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. And so, although Tobit was mighty, and we remember Tobit as a man charitable. He was a man that had done great amount of alms and deeds. But in this moment, he fell short. The same as our forefathers, and the same that you fell short, the same way I fall short. As mortal men being subject to their flesh, we're bound to fall short. And so even a righteous can stumble. And so he accused her. But as you continue to read, this is what the response was. But she replied upon me, it was given for a gift more than the wages. Howbeit, I did not believe her. So he still didn't believe her. But bade her to render it to the owner. So he's not listening. He said, no, send it back. He's telling her, Shemai, be quiet, silence, hold your peace. He's telling her, Nawak. And I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I'm just painting a picture. And I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, where are thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. Now she could have said, shut up, you wicked Negro. She could have said a lot of stuff. She could have called him blind. You blind? Oh, you really can't see, huh? She could have said a lot of things. But look at this righteous woman and see how she responded to her husband. So if you're right, if you're, through the Spirit, if you're blameless, I would say, you have no reason to get upset. You have no reason to get riled up, angry. You have no reason. Because the Lord is not going to cast away a perfect man. That's in Job chapter 8, verse 20. The Most High, he beholdeth the good and the evil upon man. So that's some more wisdom that we unlock it. That goes all the way back to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 13. Might do a mini series of this because I got about 4 more. So Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. This may be the last one. It's like in 13, verse 20. So we're unlocking wisdom in the book of Proverbs. 13 and 20, and it reads, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So you have to ask yourself, well, who is my clique? That's what they say in the world. Who's my clique? Who's my gang? Who's my group? Right? Who's my bloods? Who's my amigos? Who am I hanging around with? Who can I call my friend in these last days? Now, a friend is somebody who's going to hold you accountable. A friend is going to keep the commandments. A friend is going to ask you if you prayed and read and studied and fasted. And how's your household? A friend is going to check for your well-being. A friend may present you with a good idea to help elevate your life. That's what a friend is going to do. It's like, that's what a friend is going to do. That's what a friend is going to be known for. That's how you can call somebody a friend. But a friend, he's not going to be with you only when things are going positive in your life. A friend won't take advantage of you. This may seem like a simple grade school concept, but again, in an ungodly world, you're going to deal with a lot of demons. You're going to deal with a lot of social media, and they're going to subvert your mind. They're going to manipulate your mind, making you think that this is what a friend is. A friend is going to give you that weed. He's going to give you that joint. A friend is going to give you this counsel that's not good for you, right? Let's get Sirach chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him. And in this world, I mean, people, and there's a video too on how guys and girls make friends, and on a portion of how guys make friends, it's terrible. It starts with them just walking past each other every day. And they get more familiar and familiar. And then they just start kicking it. I mean, how are you judging them? Where's the balance? How do you know that works? So, I want to say something. You're going to judge somebody as you see yourself. So if you hold yourself to some accountability, if you hold yourself by a standard, which should be the law, statute, commandments, you're going to judge that person thoroughly. You're going to do a proper vet. You're going to do everything you can to analyze this person before you call them a friend, or else evil falls upon you. Now, if you're not holding yourself accountable, if you don't really care what you do, your mind is here and there, you're going to call anybody a friend. You will call a snake a friend. You'll call a brute beast a friend, all because y'all have similar common interest. Similar common interests, that doesn't cut the cake. That's not enough. This is Proverbs Sirach chapter 13, verse 1. He that toucheth pitch, and now pitch is tar. And if you've ever dealt with tar, whether being on a house or whatever other situation, you'll understand and know that it's very hard to get off. You can wash it with soap, it's still not going to come all the way off. You got to wash it throughout the day. It's very, very hard. And so he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. So if you have fellowship with a proud man, you're definitely going to be like a proud man. And that proudness is a sin. Being proud is a sin. Now you can be proud on the right hand side, right? Have pride in the Lord, have confidence. But if you're prideful in wickedness, / you're arrogant, you believe you may know it all, I mean, that spirit's going to jump on you. There's an old image on social media where it would show the clean, whole fruit and then the polluted, rotten fruit. And they're touching, and that pollution, that rottenness, that stench, it started to contaminate the other fruit. Compromised. So you have to examine yourself, know who you're with. It reads in Proverbs Sirach 8 and 15, travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. For he will do according to his own will, thou shalt perish with him through his folly. And we all know that one guy, that one friend, an old friend, hopefully it's an old friend, he's quick to snap. It could be a chill situation, but he's always on 10. He's a hothead. That's what they call him, a hothead. He's trigger happy. He does this. Anytime things get a little tense, he just start cracking his knuckles. You can't be around that guy. You can't do it. You know why? Because if he's a bold man, he's going to strive with an angry man. This is Sirach 8 and 16. Strive not with the angry man, and go not with him into the solitary place. Place for blood is as nothing in his sight, and there is no help. He will overthrow thee. And I mean, to him, blood, that's something every day. To an angry man, blood is something normal. So imagine being with a bold fellow, and he bring you into a snare, all because he was too zealous. He was too passionate. He didn't know what it meant to be calm. So ask yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? Who is my friends?